Hey guys, Tom Zhang here. Today I'm making a quick short video about this new reader called News360 for the iPad. It also has a iPhone and iPod Touch version, so if you are using any one of those devices or both, be sure to check out the iPhone version of this application. But because I'm on the iPad too, I'm going to demonstrate how this program looks like on the iPad 2, and probably it will look the same on your iPad 1 for those of you first generation owners, including myself. I own both the first generation iPad and the second generation, but this iPad right here is the iPad 2. So anyways, it's made by News360. It's got a lot of features, a lot of tiny features in here, so I'm not going to go over all the tiny features. Instead, I'm going to hit on the major ones, which is pretty critical for a short video. So anyways, if you're interested in the little tiny features, be sure to check out the description of this video, as I will be posting the exact descriptions here inside this YouTube video description. So anyways, these are some generic pictures that the author has posted, and it looks very similar to what it actually looks like when it runs on the iPad 2. So without further ado, let me run the application. And here we go. So it works in landscape, also works in portrait. So whichever orientation you like, this application supports both. So here we have the main interface, and that's what the News360 looks like. On the left, you have a list of categories of news that you can see, and as well you can do the 360 view, and here it explains to me that this is an alternative way of exploring news which would be missed otherwise. Swipe left or right to see more photos from today's stories, tap on a photo to see the headline, and tap read more to read the story, and then tap list button to change the current category. So these are as you can see, if you're familiar with other famous and frequently used newsfeed readers such as Flipboard, Zeit, this News360 is indeed very unique, because none of the other applications that I have known so far, at least for Flipboard and Zeit, they do not have this feature. This three-dimensional photo view is only native to News360. So this is one of the reasons that I think you should try this application out, and it's free, so you got nothing to lose except maybe a few megabytes of your data plan. And do notice it's three-dimensional, so the photos that are closer to you are the ones that's more related to you, and that's figured out using algorithm. They've actually, if you go back to the main screen, you can actually import your Facebook or anything like that. And let me go ahead and just demonstrate what this looks like, and then I'll go back to the algorithm they use to determine which stories that might pique your interest and the ones that might pique less interest. So let's say I'm interested in this picture, and this headline says, "In budget talks, Republicans and Democrats don't even agree on what they disagree about." So if I'm interested, I click read more, and it loads up the actual story. And while I'm on this page, I might as well just mention these features right here on the top right corner. The share button is quite obvious. You can share it to your favorite such as Facebook, Twitter, Read It Later, Instapaper, email, basically your favorite social networking program. And the highlight, you can basically, the highlight feature, it highlights the keywords that, if you're on in a time crunch or whatever, you can just pick up the major keywords that's related to this story, and you can also turn it off. So but I like to keep it turned on so it gets me a little focused, since I do have ADHD, so I get a little distracted a little bit easier than everybody else. So anyways, and you see this big arrow button down here, it's basically the original story. So if you're interested in the original pictures, original text, original website, you click that, and if you click it again, it goes back to this section right here. And do notice there are some tabs right here from different sources. Basically the same news, but reported by different sources, news agencies. And also you can save this article for later reading, and that's useful if you are going to be offline or out of Wi-Fi zone or out of your 3G zone. You can save this article for later use and later reading. So now let's go back, and do notice there is this column button, there is this home button, and earlier demonstrated to us is that the column button actually, you can pick your different sections. And since I am pretty interested in politics, but I am more so interested in what is going on in technology nowadays, so I like to read the text section. And so let's see, what have we? And it's loading. My internet speed is not up to par as I expected it to be, but anyways, it works. So if you're on a faster internet connection, you will not have to wait at all. So let's see what's going on with YouTube. YouTube announces YouTube live streaming video service currently in beta. So let's read about that. So the same features here, you can share it to Facebook. You can highlight the keywords, and you can save it later for offline reading. Let's go back to home, and now we're back to the standard view. And okay, so we covered the column here and the categories. We've covered some of the features, actually all the features in the article section, and now we're just missing these, and I'm going to go through each one of them. The target button, I'm sure those of you who most of you are pretty familiar with it, and what this is basically it uses your current location based on your GPS or your IP address, and it finds where you are. So in this case, I'm in Fayetteville, Arkansas, and it loads local news for me, such as the new marathon we're having this weekend, by the way, in downtown. Alright, and you can click the search button for customized things, such as, anything. If you're interested in iPad 2 news, you type that in, and it loads up a bunch of sources where you can get your information from, and articles as well. And here, the settings, you can use GPS location, you can use high quality images on 3G, but I like to turn that off to avoid going over my data plan. And of course, you can log into any one of these websites in this program. You can ask questions, tell a friend, rate this application. And here the add button is actually the save for offline reading feature I mentioned earlier. So if I'm offline, I can read it in this section, but make sure you do hit that button so it's saved onto your iPad for later reading. So anyways, guys, that is just a quick demonstration and a quick look of what News360 looks like on your iPad. So, if you are a big fan of Flipboard or Zite, or just any RSS or newsfeed reader in general, be sure to check out News360 for iPad. speaking for myself, I'm a huge fan of Flipboard, and sometimes it just gets a little boring if you use the same application every day. So, I'm actually planning to use this, take a break on Flipboard and use this for my next week, where I get my news from. Now, the only thing I must say, though, is I haven't found an option to log into my Google Reader account. That's where all of my subscriptions are. So hopefully News360 will be able to add on to that feature instead of just some pre-selected categories or keywords or what have you. So anyways, guys, please go ahead and rate, comment, and subscribe to my channel. If you do have any specific requests as to what application you like to see me review or any games, please do let me know. And also add me on Facebook. So anyways, guys, I really enjoyed it. Until next time, I'll see you here on tomzane.us. Thanks.